couldn't have said it better.
I want to go to the beginning like I always do. Let's get your background. Tell us your background, where you come from, and how did you get your start in sports journalism?
So I actually did in college, I went to NC State, Wolfpack. So I majored in sports management in college. I knew I wanted to do something sports related, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do coming out of high school. So I did sports management. In sports management, we were able to like get exposed to so many different areas of sports. So I did a lot in marketing, did a lot in finance, did some operations, did a little athletic training, pretty much anything on campus because our department was really small. So anytime any event came on campus, they were always like hitting up our sports management department, like any students want to get involved. So I got exposed to a lot of different things, got to get a lot of good internships in college that really boosted my resume. So I actually minored in accounting in college because when I did a preliminary, like I had to do, I had to do a prereqs. So I did an accounting class randomly. I was really good at it. So I just picked up accounting as my minor. So I was able to get a lot of different internships because I was so niche down. So I was able to do an internship with the Charlotte Hornets, ended up doing like an internship with the Atlanta Dream in finance. So then when I graduated, before I was graduating, I've always been a talker and I've always talked about sports. That's always what I did. But I didn't think like broadcasting was something that was realistic because, like a few years ago, it just seemed like, something just a few people did. So I never really took like a broadcasting opportunity serious in college. And then everybody's like, all my friends and stuff, they're like, you need to be talking about sports. You need to be talking about sports. You need to be talking about sports. I'm like, yeah. Okay. So then when I graduated, I was doing my internship with the Atlanta Dream, a finance internship. And I was just exposed to a lot of different people, a lot of different things. And then once I was like starting to get around like different broadcasters and being exposed to that in Atlanta, I was like, okay, this can be a real career path. So I actually started writing, wrote for the newspaper here in Atlanta, the Atlanta Voice. So writing was also something that I was really good at. And I actually really enjoy writing, which is actually a big part of being a reporter is writing. So I will cover like the Falcons, Hawks, all the pro teams, writing. Then I started getting some more on-camera opportunities, met HBCU Game Day, which y'all are familiar with. A veteran broadcaster, Tali Carr, he works for HBCU Game Day. He was actually the sports reporter in my hometown growing up. So he kind of took me under his wing when it came to getting on-camera opportunities. And
I love how you just called Tali old without calling him. I'm gonna make sure you see this.
I said veteran.
But you also said when I was growing up, he was a sportscaster.
he was up and coming. He was up and coming when I was like, he was like just starting to get in his bag. You know what I'm saying?
In other words, when he was 18, he was 62. That was you. Shout out to Tali Carr. You old. I know your back hurts somewhere, Tali. We'll talk to you.
So you were born in North Carolina or Georgia? Or Carolina?
North Carolina.
Okay. All right, cool.
So just staying outside, honestly, like as y'all know, you got to be doing something all the time. Atlanta, obviously, is the hub of events, hub of sports. So just staying outside, networking, taking any opportunity, honestly, I could get.
Love it. Love it.
I wanted to ask you about the Eagles draft. So one of my mentees was a 5th round draft pick, Smile Monday.
Yes.
Out of UGA. And when I looked at for what they did in the draft, they really did it again. Like they usually they were able to draft positions of luxury in the 5th round. When you think about adding a guy like Smile, when you already have Jahad Campbell as a 1st round pick. Talk to me about the Eagles draft and what you like the most and who may be your sleeper pick to really shine.
So first of all, I love that we got Smile. I feel like at this point, an Eagles draft is not complete without a Georgia Bulldog on defense. But no, I feel like we had a great draft. We go best available 1st round with Jahad Campbell. Jahad Campbell obviously dealing with a little bit of injury, but he fell to us. So I had to trade up a little bit for him. He's local from the Philly area, grew up Eagles fan, so it's like the perfect fit for him coming here. Nakobe Dean got hurt for us last season. So the last couple of games of the season in the playoffs, Nakobe Dean was hurt. So Jahad Campbell can come in, instantly be a day one starter on the inside with Nakobe Dean hurt. He's also someone that can play on the edge too. So it's like the perfect 2-on-1 because we did lose Brandon Graham to retirement and Josh Sweat, who went to the Cardinals this offseason. So Jahad is kind of like that perfect fit. So he can, be that Nakobe Dean while Nakobe Dean is hurt, but he can also be effective on the edge as well. I love our number 2 pick. Second round, we get a safety, Andrew Makuba, great in coverage.
I like that.
A guy out of Texas. And obviously we lost CJ GJ. So in our first 2 picks, we get guys that can be day one starters, obviously if everything go right. But I love those first 2 picks. Makuba has that same kind of attitude that CJ GJ has, like the little grit. You DB, you gotta have a little mouthpiece on you. So I really love the Makuba pick. Like I said, great in coverage. That's what we need. And he's a thumper. He can hit stick, and that's what we're gonna be missing a little bit. But my sleeper pick, one of my favorite, honestly, picks is our 4th round pick, Ty Robinson, defensive tackle out of Nebraska. Y'all covering Colorado. Y'all seen Ty Robinson. This a guy I'm excited about with Jalen Carter. Like, he's huge, but he's athletic. 4.8 at the combine. He had 6 sacks last season, all pretty much from the interior. So like getting that pressure from the inside with Jalen Carter, because obviously Jordan Davis is like our run stuffer. But to have somebody next to Jalen Carter that can, be a pass rusher as well, like that's going to be huge. Having that rotation with him, Jalen Carter, and Jordan Davis. Just picked up Jordan Davis's 5th-year option, so that's looking like the core of the future. So Ty is one I'm really excited about. He was number 1 in quarterback hurries for a defensive tackle. So just continuing to have that pressure and a guy next to Jalen Carter that can be a pass rusher as well. And then, like you said, next picks, we just kind of going best available, filling pieces. I really love Smile. I feel like we said, Nakobe Dean is hurt. So, any depth we can get at linebacker is going to be big, especially with Vic Fangio, because Vic Fangio, he's a linebacker wizard. Like, he loved linebackers. So I just feel like we saw what he did last season with Zach Baum. We saw what he did with Nakobe Dean, because Nakobe Dean was on the hot seat kind of pretty much before Vic Fangio came here, and Nakobe Dean has one of his best seasons. So I'm really excited for Smile coming into this Vic Fangio defense. Our last pick, we go Antoine Powell-Ryland, edge rusher, 16 sacks last season at Virginia Tech. So to get a guy like that with our last pick, just adding to a rotation, hopefully we can get some production out of him early. I really, really like this draft.
I gotta tell you, Symone, I'm gonna try to say it without the vomit coming all the way up. So give me a second.
Yes.
I wish I had my Jerry back from the 90s, because my Jerry in the 90s, he knew how to get his ass kicked and then go buy off what kicked his ass. So I said, I tell you what, man, I bet we won't lose that Deion Sanders no more, because we finna get him over here. I really wish Jerry and the boys would get together, open up the checkbook, and just say, hey, Eagle Scout Department, we're gonna buy all y'all.
Y'all got so many guys off our top 30 visit. Y'all was already shopping off our list.
Well,
let me
answer your question with a question. Did y'all win the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Why would we do that?
I'm saying,
let me tell you why Chico didn't graduate from Bible college. Chico copied off a dumb SOB like him. No, copy off the smart people. Copy off who winning. That's what I'm gonna go copy off. Hey, what you get, Duke? Duke say, hey, what you get, Chico?
Symone and left.
Why would I copy off Chico?
Man, you just got traumatized from copying off people when the teacher kicked you out of the classroom for copying a person's name and putting it on your paper too. Chico, like, how dumb can you get? You can't copy the person's name.
Let me tell you how right you are, Chico. I used to copy so much, the teacher made me come sit up by them. And then what they didn't realize, she had the answer key where I could see it, so I was signaling the class. I'd be like, 23 is A. 23 is A. Like, man, we're gonna beat the system now. We can look. I
can see you being bad. I can see you being bad in class.
Most definitely, he's bad on the show. So,
when Symone, I want to give you some props for something you touched on that a lot of people asleep on. In order to want to be something, you got to see it. That old adage, you got to see it to be it. And when we look at like the big boys out there, the ESPNs, the Fox Sports, blah, 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 if you take away the people on those panels who are not retired from the sport, everybody else started off as writers.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a phone and internet access, people just jump straight to their face on the screen instead of honing their writing craft. Like, I hope my intern Terrence too is watching, because I be telling Terrence all the time, man, start writing.
Yeah, for sure.
Writing is what's going to get you there. You have to get the pen out the paper because it helps you with your thoughts, expression, blah, blah, blah. You can't just go right to the camera.
Right.
And so you touch on that, even though you had the resources to go right to camera, it's like, no, writing is the platform.
Absolutely. And like you said, even when you're doing videos on camera, like, you writing scripts, you know what I mean? So you can tell that story. Like, even when I'm doing my YouTube videos, like, the writing aspect helps a lot when it comes to, you know, structuring the video how you want to. And then even doing sideline reporting, like, you're writing all the time, literally, as a sideline reporter, you're literally writing your stories. So, you know, people see you on camera and they assume, yo, you just talking, presenting on camera, but no, writing is definitely a big part of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, y'all see her on the screen, Symone Stanley at Symone with the Sports. So make sure you hit her up on her IG. Make sure you subscribe to her YouTube. She ain't going nowhere. I'm just letting y'all know what to find there, because you got to make sure we like, share, and subscribe to all our guests that come on, as well as Deuce the Scoop channel, Big Dog Chico channel. If you're sitting there watching on Pregame Network and you ain't hit the like and subscribe, what the hell is wrong with you on this Friday? Like, I just don't get it. Like, hit it. Hey, you got something in the chat? Make it a super chat. We'll make sure we see it. But so far, the chat is just feeling. Simone is finding in Persian saying.
That's a good one. I never heard that one, though.
Yeah,
that's a first. That's definitely a first.
We say finding a frog hair in Mississippi. Man, you never seen no frog with no nappy hair. That comb go right through that thing.
Man, what?
Persian saying.
That's the first time I heard that.
I like that one.
Man, that's crazy, man. You know, in Georgia, in the country, they say finding the hair on a frog head.
I never heard that either.
That's a fine hair.
Yeah.
That ain't like, I want y'all to look at Chico hair. It's the opposite of that.
Get him back, dog. Get him back. Get him back.
When it's funny, I'll laugh. When you get that was quick right there. That was quick. we just say it Alabama. She found it in the mother. That's what we say.
Yeah, that's all I heard.
That's quick and easy. Hey, Symone, I don't see the exact question, but somebody asked a ways back in the chat about HBCU coverage this fall. What was the storyline that you're most looking to cover? I'm paraphrasing that.
What story look to cover this football? Oh, honestly, basketball season, all the shifting of the coaches in the SWAC with Dante Jackson going to Alabama A&M, and then Patrick Crary going to Grambling. So I think basketball season is definitely going to be spicy with all the shuffling of the coaches. So I'm excited for that.
Don't forget Heisman Trophy at FAMU.
Huh?
Charlie Ward is at FAMU.
Yeah, Charlie Ward. Yeah, at FAMU. So yeah, all the the coaching like changes. Like, I know a lot of people got their eyes on Patrick Crary because what he did at FAMU, going to Grambling, and then Dante Jackson going to Alabama A&M. So a lot of shuffling. So I'm definitely excited for that basketball season.